I never realized how much control she had until I finally tried to breathe without her shadow over me. At first, I thought marriage was about partnership, about compromise, about building a life together. But what I didn't see was how carefully she stitched invisible strings around me. Every choice I made somehow became her decision. Every dream I spoke aloud was measured against her approval, and somewhere in the years between falling in love and falling in line, I stopped recognizing myself. She called it maturity, responsibility, adulthood, but deep down, it was about control. She decided how our money was spent, where we lived, who we visited, even how I should react when things went wrong. My laughter had to fit her standards, my silence had to match her expectations, and my anger, God forbid I showed any anger, was always painted as weakness. And I let it happen, because I thought that was love, because I believed that if I gave her everything, she would give me something in return. But the truth hit me one night in the simplest way. I came home from work, drained but hopeful, and told her about a small promotion I'd earned. It wasn't huge, just a step forward, a reason to feel proud. She barely looked up from her phone, muttered, "That's all?" and went back to scrolling. In that moment, the years of swallowing my pride, of playing the obedient husband, cracked inside me. That's all. Those two words cut deeper than any argument we'd ever had because they told me exactly what I was to her, a man who was never enough. From that day, I started watching differently. The way she flaunted her control at dinner parties, cutting me off mid-sentence, finishing my thoughts like I was a child fumbling for words. The way she rolled her eyes when I disagreed with her in private, as if my opinion wasn't just wrong but irrelevant. And the way she smiled sweetly in public, making everyone believe we were the perfect couple while she tightened her grip behind closed doors. She thought she had me caged, but she didn't notice the cracks forming in her own walls. The turning point came when she tried to humiliate me in front of friends. We were at a gathering, laughter flowing, wine glasses clinking, and I shared a story from my workday. She interrupted, laughed loudly, and said, "Oh, don't mind him. He exaggerates everything. He's not really that important." Everyone chuckled politely, but I saw it in their eyes. They believed her. They saw me the way she painted me. Small, powerless, invisible. My chest burned, but I swallowed it down. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself, didn't give her the satisfaction of seeing me break. I just smiled faintly and raised my glass. But inside, something shifted permanently. I realized she didn't just want control, she wanted to erase me. So I decided to become someone she couldn't erase. Quietly, silently, I began to build. I stopped telling her about my plans, my late nights, my side projects. I invested my time in myself, my skills, my growth. While she spent hours bragging to her friends about her social circle, I poured hours into learning, creating, networking with people she didn't even know existed. I let her think I was shrinking, while in reality, I was expanding beyond her reach. The more I pulled back, the more uneasy she became. At first, she mocked me for being distracted. Then she accused me of being cold. When those didn't work, she tried seduction, wearing the lingerie she hadn't touched in years, pressing against me with a forced smile. But I didn't fall for it. I wasn't starving for her crumbs of affection anymore. My silence became my weapon. She wanted to control every reaction, every breath, but I gave her nothing. That's when the cracks in her confidence grew visible. One evening, she snapped. "What's wrong with you?" she demanded. "You don't argue, you don't care, you don't even look at me anymore." I sipped my drink and said calmly, "Maybe I just got used to things." The look on her face told me she understood. She no longer owned me. And for the first time, she felt powerless. The truth is, I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to fight. All I had to do was take back my power by no longer handing it to her. The more I thrived outside her orbit, the smaller she became in mine. I got healthier, sharper, stronger. My work soared. My confidence returned. My laughter wasn't forced anymore. Friends noticed. People at gatherings leaned toward me instead of her. And she noticed too. The queen who once strutted proudly beside me now walked a step behind, eyes darting, wondering when she lost her crown. The day she realized it fully was almost poetic. We crossed paths at a family event. She wore her best smile, her sharpest dress, trying to command the room like before. But when I entered, heads turned my way. Conversations shifted toward me. I wasn't the man she mocked into silence anymore. I was the man people wanted to hear, to follow, to respect. She sat there with her wine, smiling tightly, but her eyes burned with the knowledge that she had lost something she could never get back. And that was the moment I understood the beauty of it. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need to destroy her. She had destroyed herself by underestimating me, By trying to control me, she lost the very thing she thought she owned. I didn't rise with her permission. I rose despite her control, and she had no choice but to watch. Now when I look back, I don't see myself as the victim anymore. I see a man who was asleep for too long, living under someone else's rules. And I see the day I woke up, the day I stopped asking for permission to exist, as the day I truly began living. My wife wanted to control everything, but in the end, the only thing she controlled was her own downfall. And me, I walked away taller, freer, and more alive than I had ever been, while she sat in the ruins of her imagined kingdom, forced to watch me rise alone.